Good afternoon. Great to have everyone with us, and hope everyone's having a great day. We're going to start the presentation now. So welcome everyone to our event, Driving Engagement with a Mix of Media. My name is Michael Kaitila. I'm the co-founder of Boxpilot. Also have on the line Kirko Papagiannis, president of Boxpilot.
Hello everyone, great to have you with us today.
Great. We're excited about today's topic because having helped thousands of B2B companies over the last 15 years, it's given us a unique perspective on today's marketing and sales environment and the opportunities it presents. So let's jump in. First, I'll walk through some of our market observations overall, and then Kirko will dig deeper into some of the ways to take advantage of the opportunities, and then we'll have a short Q&A session. So if you have any questions as we go, please don't be shy. Just send them over using the dialog box in the web seminar interface, and we will do our best to address them at the end of the presentation. So to kick things off, let's look at something everyone is familiar with, the sales funnel. At the top, companies are generating leads using web-based content marketing, as well as cold lead gen programs that might include events or targeted reach outs. There's movement down the middle by generating more interest in qualifying, and at the bottom, of course, is where the sales team works with leads who have reached a level of interest and are qualified enough to warrant the rep's time. So there's three stages in the flow that need to work together: generating prospects at the top, selling and closing at the bottom, and moving prospects through the middle. So let's focus on the middle for a moment. Really think about it. The middle is really all about increasing lead score and qualifying. Of course, it's where a prospect who enters the top becomes ready for the sales team at the bottom. With lead scoring, teams work hard to plan events and write white papers and case studies and so forth, all with the intent to engage prospects with content that they consume that then increases their lead score to a certain level, at which point they're considered sales ready. And with qualifying, the objective is to distinguish those leads who could actually become customers today from those who could not, so that the sales teams are not wasting time on prospects who say don't have the budget or the situation needed to purchase the product, for example. But what we've seen is that, especially with the adoption of many of the marketing automation platforms out there, email has really become the go-to method to offer content and attempt to qualify. And it's understandable because companies have invested significant expense and time into setting up the CRM and marketing automation systems that essentially enable them to really only trigger emails right out of the platforms. So they're really tied to email in a way not even by choice. But with everyone thinking and using email in this way, we've seen some significant challenges emerge as a result of this over-reliance on email. The main problem is that it creates holes in the funnel. The sheer quantity of emails that people are getting today, plus the fact that your competitors are also over-relying on email, has really pushed email overload to an all-time high. Thousands of emails per day piling up on each other makes for clutter and receiver desensitization, to the point that truly engaging prospects and making a genuine connection with email alone has become very difficult, even with good content. But it is precisely this needed connection that keeps prospects from, frankly, being bored and losing interest and going stale and ultimately flowing out of the funnel to your competitors.
Michael, if I could jump in here. Actually, we just had a question come in, and I thought it would probably make sense to address it now. The question is, do you have any statistics or figures that point to the depth of this email problem?
We do. In fact, we were just looking at some earlier here. Let's see, big picture. According to a study by Radhi Kadi, over 100 billion business emails are sent per day. From another study, 86% of emails in inboxes are considered by recipients as trivial or insignificant. For example, newsletters, social updates, notifications, and such. There's been a 300% increase in newsletters year over year. And because of all this clutter, 18% of important work emails are lost in the inbox and not even read. So I think a lot of companies think sending more and more emails is going to solve the problem, but with everyone thinking this way, it's just compounding and it's just not engaging prospects the way it should. So hope that answers the question, and actually it bridges to the next point. Oh, no problem. Next point, which is the challenges related to relying on email alone to qualify. So even if someone consumes content and increases their lead score over time, it doesn't mean they necessarily have the budget or the situation needed to purchase your product. So too often, sales reps are wasting time and money calling on someone who could never actually buy. And what we've seen is that the key to properly qualifying is to engage prospects to the point that they are motivated to tell you specifics about their situation. And relying solely on email and web forms often only gathers info that is partial or unreliable. So conclusion, well, of course, there is an important place for email in the overall mix. Over-reliance on email does not optimally engage or qualify, and as a result, hurts sales. And not only sales, but loss to competitors. So in this example workflow that only uses email to move prospects down the funnel, as an example, maybe it is a white paper offer by email, and then if they click through, they get an invitation to an event by email, all by email, etc. We studied buying preferences in the face of competition in one of our internal research reports. And with similar companies competing for a buyer's business, we found that when one of them used just email to communicate, while the other used email alongside other touches with higher levels of engagement, 70% of buyers were more predisposed to choose the company who engaged them more. And the reason is that they viewed it as an indicator that they cared more and that customer service and support will be higher after the sale was made. And in fact, this supports a McKinsey study which shows that 70% of buying experiences are based on how the customer feels they're being treated. So what this means is that companies are potentially losing up to 70% of their prospects to competitors who are doing a better job of engaging them. So this begs the question, how do we stop this loss to competitors? How do we get touches with higher levels of engagement than with email alone? And the answer that we have seen emerge lies in utilizing a mix of media. Alongside emails, we're talking phone calls, voicemail, text, notes, among other methods. Everyone knows it takes more than popping out a few emails to really drive engagement, and that if your competitors are the ones who are really engaging prospects, they're going to be the ones taking the sales. So let's look at some of the reasons using a mix of media works. For one, there's opportunity where clutter doesn't exist and where touches actually get noticed. So a call, a voicemail, a text, a handwritten note, these are things that still stick out to us because we don't get nearly as many as with emails. And on top of that, engaging with a real human voice, even if it's just periodic, identifies you as a real person where a stronger relationship and trust can be built. We've seen that it's a mistake to leave making a human connection to the bottom of the funnel only, and it's a mistake to let your competitors be the ones engaging prospects more than you. Actually, in a study called Dale's Cone of Learning, we see that more engagement generates more recall. People remember 10% of what they read alone, but as we go up in engagement, 50% of what we hear and see, so 5 times improvement. And another benefit is that you can't truly qualify people without actually getting details about their situation. And to get this info, you have to actually have dialogue with them. And to talk in this way, they need to be engaged. So armed with reliable info, when you know that they're not truly qualified, you can loop them back up higher in the funnel to let them simmer until their circumstances change. And if they are in fact truly qualified, they can be pushed down the funnel faster to the sales team, which in turn will grow more sales. So either way, using a mix of media is going to help get the engagement to enable this process. And so to bring it home, referencing the McKinsey study earlier that echoed our results, if 70% of buyers are more predisposed to choose the company who engages them more with a mix of thoughtfully integrated email, voice touches, texts, and notes, etc., rather than the company that uses email alone, it really means that doing a better job of engaging prospects can result in 2.3 times more customers by virtue of not losing prospects from your funnel and having them choose competitors. So you might be thinking, yes, that's fine. I get that the more different touch points you make, the more engaged someone will be, the more sales that'll translate into. But actually executing programs with a mix of media in this way isn't easy. And we understand. Setting up multi-channel programs is often difficult. It can be time-consuming and taxing on staff and/or taxing technologically. It may involve hiring or sourcing various vendors, which might not be in the budget. Getting vendors to talk to each other, that can take a lot of time. And integrating results and triggers into your existing marketing automation and CRM systems can be difficult. So often, because the benefits of using a mix of media are outweighed by the costs in doing so, companies tend to continue to rely solely on email. And so the question becomes, how can you actually reach out and engage in this way, but it not have all the costs of time and money and hassles? And so answering this question was really central to the vision of our firm. Over the years, we've innovated a number of services and methods that allow our clients to integrate touches that use a mix of media, but we've done so with an eye to making it take little of your time, being highly cost effective, and fully integrating into your systems. And our process involves working with our clients to design workflows that use a mix of media while supporting your existing initiatives. Build the programs, content, and integration, and then we execute on your behalf and make it all happen, and then carefully review results and the cycle repeats. But making all the parts work together takes a unique type of firm. And so what makes us different is that we have three core capabilities rolled into one. We have the agency side, where strategy, content, planning are done, building off of a significant depth of expertise from having done more than 16,000 programs. Having an in-house North American contact center gives us a huge advantage and has enabled us to innovate methods of execution across a mix of media, specifically for B2B, all with the benefits of in-house control. And our full-service automation platform that uses innovative protocols for easier, faster, and more seamless integration into your CRM and marketing automation systems than ever before. But at the end of the day, we know what really matters is what those three combined capabilities can specifically do to help our clients get results by using a mix of media. And there's lots. For example, from event marketing programs where we've almost perfected the workflows needed to pack an event with qualified attendees, to sales rep multiplication programs such as our sales rep pipeline builder workflow that generates sales-ready leads at a rate you choose each month for each rep. There's our lead gen and lead nurture programs that get more leads into the funnel, get higher lead scores by engaging more, which produces more qualified leads at the bottom of the funnel. Our renewal programs are timed touch sequences that get more service or contract renewals by working backward from each lapse date. And our appointment booking programs use a mix of media to generate more appointments than traditional repetitive cold calling. And our data quality programs combine making touches plus data building at the same time, which is ideal for cost-effective net new lead or account penetration goals. There's lots more ways we've used a mix of media to generate solutions and results, but this is a start. And so the question becomes, what are the components of those solutions, and what does Boxpilot specifically do to generate the results. And with that, let's dive into some of our services to get a better feel for the mix of media tools we use to generate the higher levels of engagement that drive the results. And so I'll hand it over to Kirko. Kirko has been with Boxpilot for over 15 years, and he has been a key leader in the innovations and technology that enables the cost-effective execution and fast setup time interplay that we offer. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Kirko.
Thank you, Michael, for the compelling backdrop.
No problem.
Bridging off of that, I thought we'd dig a little deeper into some of the services Boxpilot has that enable execution of programs with a mix of media without the traditional obstacles of cost, time, and integration hassles. And to begin with, it really all starts with content creation. We've seen that getting the content together is sometimes the most daunting and time-consuming part of putting together a program in-house. But it is critical that the content is done right and that it takes into account the subtleties and tactics of what is working today. At Boxpilot, we employ a 7-step method to generate layout, scripting, and copy across the different types of media that applies our tactical knowledge base of past program successes so that you're leveraging our experience of having performed well over 16,000 programs for our clients. All the while, we are spearheading the creation of content while working with you to gain final approval. The next service I wanted to delve a little deeper into is Boxpilot's live voice service. After all, it's personal voice contact that really establishes your relationship with your prospects. And it's this human engagement that can oftentimes get you the most useful information. And with our in-house 32-seat North America-based call center located in Toronto, we can handle outbound and inbound calling and really lend that humanity and emotion to your electronic communications. Whether we're qualifying prospects on your behalf or relaying messages live to prospects, booking appointments, finding new information, or responding to prospect or customer inquiries, our contact center is nimble and staffed with bright, intelligent, native English-speaking professionals. Let's examine just one of our very unique voice services specifically guided voicemail. We originally pioneered this service as a means of increasing the marketing value of a phone call that terminates in a voicemail box. What we found that it was a really great way to increase the frequency that our clients' prospects could hear from the voices of key people at their organizations, whether that's their account managers, sales reps, the CEO, etc. Anyone really who's involved in the sales process at all. And we could do this all without it taking their personal time. With this proprietary technology, our agents have the ability to engage message playback of messages recorded by your key people into the voicemail boxes of prospects if they're unable to get the prospects on the line, which unfortunately, as most sales reps will tell you, is almost 9 times out of every 10 calls. It's like you called yourself and left a voicemail message respectfully and crystal clear to the right person every time. This works to multiply your key players' voices so that your prospects become familiar with the people who matter in your sales process, without them being the ones having to make those calls. Now, Michael touched on the general overload of email these days, but there's no doubt that it has a very important place in any program. We found that it's a great medium to facilitate responses, in that it's very easy to click on a link or hit reply or forward an email. So we've built what we call smart or managed email into our programs. Generally, our managed emails are more like you sending periodic emails. So we actually typically send them one at a time, sometimes triggered by another distinct activity such as a phone call, a voicemail being left, a click-through, or even a previous email being opened. We can even insert copy into the email to correspond to specific demography or specific action. They're timed, measured, highly customized, and acted upon, just like your own individual email. And we even utilize our agents in our contact center to manage the inbound email and respond individually as a program workflow demands. Along the lines of managed email, we recently introduced managed texting as well. With building on the ubiquity of mobile device use in business, texting is really becoming an important touch point. And as with our email service, our live agents handle your texting as an extension of you. We don't use any short codes, and there's no batches that can fail. It's literally like a one-to-one text message sent from you to your prospect. And as with email, our agents can respond individually to inbound texts as a program workflow demands as well. It's really a great way to remind prospects of an appointment or event or meeting, or to use as a truly personal, very friendly touch base with your closest contacts. On a side note about texting, the average open rate for B2B emails is actually about 13%, whereas the average open rate for a text message is 96%. Something to chew on. So we've talked a lot about live agents here, and by virtue of having live agents handling your programs, any data we acquire over the course of your program is updated right back into your CRM. Whether it be replacement names, new phone numbers, updated email addresses, all help you maintain your database with 100% human verified information. The best part is that you'll have new names to add to future programs, and you won't continue to waste money on bad data. But to truly ensure that your programs are really handled start to finish, we layer in a host of other services as well to build value for your company. From setting up routine social media updates to proactive alerts like our desk alert service, where we instant message or text your sales team when certain prospects are sitting at their desks and answering their phones. Through to data improvements and cleansing fed right back to your CRM or database. We'll even send handwritten notes timed with your other contacts to add that really personal touch. For example, a note thanking someone for attending an event or to convey holiday wishes. Another note on statistics, the average business person gets personalized business letter once every 7 weeks versus 100 billion emails per day. As well, to supplement our services, we can manage a host of vendors and partners like our telesales partners, list vendor partners, so that a Boxpilot can act as your single point of contact and execution responsibility. Our operations and client service staff will work with you to inject our services into your workflow. As you can see in the flow chart, there are numerous points in your outreach where Boxpilot can manage your touches. Working with your CRM or marketing automation platform to make it easy for you to set up a meaningful communication stream that works synergistically with your existing team's efforts. This ensures cohesion throughout the process.
Well, Kirko, if I could just jump in here. Actually, we just had a question come in here. Probably it would make sense to address it now. The question is, do you integrate just with the CRM/MA platforms listed on the page here?
Well, thank you for that question. The quick answer to that, the easy answer is that we can work with all of them, not just those listed here. The typical process is that we would want to sit down, have a quick conversation to gather an understanding of how and when you would need to send and receive data from us so that it works within your process. We can integrate either natively or using various intermediary tools we have on hand. This makes it a breeze to add, remove, or change records in the workflow from your side without any hassles. Plus, you get reporting and live visibility to what is going on across all active workflows. I hope that that answered your question.
Great, thanks, Kirko.
No problem. Okay, so jumping back in, the overarching purpose of our suite of services is really to enable a mix of media for your business, all the while staying within budget, minimizing your management time, reducing dependence on staff, either existing or new, and integrating with your existing systems. To ensure this for our clients, we maintain full flexibility in how we fit into a company's workflow. And towards that end, we've defined 3 distinct ways Boxpilot can put together programs for you to ensure we meet your needs. We have sequenced, triggered, and discrete programs. So let's take a quick look at what we mean by each. A sequenced program is really a full top-to-bottom, systematic, pre-planned, strategic, multi-touch, multi-wave program using a true mix of media. We'll work closely with you to define and design a full workflow to reach whatever your desired goal is. This can be lead generation, lead nurturing, event audience recruitment, contract renewals, etc., etc. We propose a workflow based on our experience with what works, and we work with you to meet your objectives. Alternatively, if you'd like to build a Boxpilot orchestrated activity right into your workflow, right from your automation tool based on specific actions, we can help there too. We can design programs which are triggered by specific prospect actions. These can be based on actions in your CRM, marketing automation platform, on your website, email, etc. Any action by your prospect can launch a triggered Boxpilot program. Some examples of triggers that could launch a program would be, for example, web form completion, someone downloads a white paper, someone clicks through on an email, website visitor, etc. The list really goes on. When any of these happen, the Boxpilot program kicks in, a call, email, text, custom note, etc. Finally, Boxpilot is always able to help with discrete programs which represent a single element of your company's grand workflow. For example, you just want to deliver a guided voicemail to a segment of your list to boost response rates, to say an email you are already sending. It can serve as an addition of high-touch contact for high-value prospects, or as an add-on to a priority segment. We can help you determine where it makes sense for your company to add a touch to your existing outreach. For each type of program, we'll always seek to understand your end goals so that we can provide valuable insight and guidance. This will allow us to better propose a program which would yield desired results while making sure you stay within budget, and of course maximize your return on investment. We can be very flexible in making sure you see the value that is needed in every program, and to make sure we can align costs with results, we can offer several pricing models as well. As such, Boxpilot will, in certain cases, offer you a pay-by-result price as an alternative to our fee-for-service price. We will work with you to examine what makes the most sense for your circumstances. And at the end of the day, we truly strive to be a valued partner of yours and are willing to take some of the risk with you. When we build a program for you, we build it for success because your success inevitably is Boxpilot's success. And this philosophy really has been core to the business since inception. Over the past 15 years in the same location, we've made over 16 million touches over 16,000 multi-channel programs. helping small to medium-sized businesses all the way up to some of the major Fortune 100 companies listed here. And at this point, I'd like to hand it back to Michael to close the loop.
Great, thanks, Kirko. Okay, so big picture, we enable companies to generate up to 5 times more engagement than with email alone by using a mix of media to better qualify and move prospects down the funnel, effectively stopping the up to 70% of under-engaged prospects who leave to competitors, to generate 2.3 times more sales-ready leads, customers, and sales, all in a way that is integrated with your existing CRM and MA platforms, cost-effective, and requires minimal time. So you can leverage our experience to save you the time and money, no need to hire, no need to learn new software. We manage all the details to get the most out of your business development process, adapting as you need us to, and remaining platform neutral so we can evolve with you. At the end of the day, our goal is to drive pipeline and allow you to see increased sales. And so our next step is to talk. Let's discuss what objectives are on your mind and what some of your metrics are to get there in terms of target cost per sales, qualified lead, budgets, and so forth. We'll create a customized workflow proposal, which we will walk through with you. It's common that we might do a revision on it based on further discussion, and then we begin the process and make it all happen for you. Okay, and so with that, today's presentation portion is complete. Let's move to a brief Q&A session to round out some of what we've heard today. If you haven't submitted your questions yet, please use the web interface and ask away. And at that, I'll turn it over again to Kirko.
Thanks, Michael. Yes, as Michael pointed out, please use the GoToWebinar interface and go ahead and ask away. First question coming in here is, what does the proposal process look like?
Okay, I'm happy to answer that question. So first, we would have a conversation with you about your objectives and really hone in on problems you're having or opportunities for improvement. For example, needing more sales-ready leads or appointments, or segments that are falling through the cracks and not getting contacted regularly, or things taking up too much of your time, etc. And then we would go back, and usually within 24 hours, we put together a workflow and proposed plan for you with flowcharts and how all the numbers would work. And then we'd have a meeting with yourself and anyone else on your team, go over the plan, make any revisions, and then get started. So overall, it's a very quick process. We can get up and running in a matter of days from our initial conversation. So I hope that answers the question.
Thank you, Michael. Okay, next one here. After a program workflow is designed, does it get executed from our marketing automation system or yours? I think I'll take that question. We can actually work it either way. If you want to maintain the control of the elements in the workflow, such as email components, you can build triggers in your marketing automation whereby Boxpilot would execute the component triggers as part of the overall plan. We would actually consider that a triggered program. Alternatively, with a sequenced program, we would manage the entire workflow on our side and push updates to your CRM or marketing automation at various points that we agreed on. Both work equally well. Best way to figure out which works best for you is to have a conversation with us, and we'll see what works best. Okay. Question number 3 here. How involved do I get in creating content? Michael?
I would be happy to answer this one. Certainly. I mean, generally, it's us spearheading the creation while working with you to gain final approval so that your time is maximized. We won't let programs go out without having first been scrutinized to employ best practices from our learning. So whether you prefer a more collaborative hands-on approach or a hands-off approach, the quality of content remains just as high. in any case. So I hope that that answers the question.
Thank you, Michael. Next one here. Who do I work with in running Boxpilot programs? I'll take that one. Each client of Boxpilot is assigned a specialized team to help maximize the success of every program. Your dedicated account manager really is your primary point of contact and serves kind of in an advocacy role in the execution of your programs. We also assign you a success manager whose job it is to assist in the planning and strategy of the programs being executed. And then finally, a dedicated operations manager is assigned to you that handles the technical and operational setup and execution requirements of your programs. We found that this team approach works really well to maintain truly exceptional levels of customer service and to ensure availability and satisfaction. So I hope that answered the question. I think we have one more question right now, Michael.
Okay.
Question. This is an easy one. I'll pass it to you. Can I get the slides as a PDF and send a replay of this video presentation to others on my team?
Yeah, I can answer that. Sure. Yeah. So right when the presentation is complete, we will be posting a streaming video replay of the presentation to replay.boxpilot.com, and there you'll also be able to download the slides. And also, we posted our recently launched white paper entitled Conquering Deficiencies in the Sales Funnel with an Engaging Mix of Media, which is there that you can pick up. So again, it is replay.boxpilot.com. So I hope that answers the question.
Okay, thank you, Michael. So it appears actually that there's no further questions at this time. So this formally concludes our presentation today, and I wanted to close by thanking everyone for attending and participating today.
Yes, thank you all for attending. We hope that we've stimulated ideas for you to chew on today as you think about how together we can drive engagement with a mix of media in your company. Please reach out to your account manager to continue the discussion, and wishing you an enjoyable rest of your day, and goodbye for now.
Thank you again, and have a wonderful day.